So I did tell a certain few people that I was gonna stop making these videos, but there were a couple of games last night that were just too good not to show, and this is one of them. So we've got Flank, Pick, and Mustard, who's new to the squadron, but he's pretty good pilot, very good shot, and his comms well above average, put it like that. Now we switch over to this view. Okay. So in terms of formations, compared to the four before, this is as good as it gets. Right next to each other. So it makes the deployment into the zone much easier. And what you're gonna see is that we are gonna basically carry the whole team. Yep. So we're in Yak 3s this time, which I haven't shown a lot before, but basically we don't want to go above 5,000. And we can afford to give the enemy the altitude and the initiative because if we draw them down into low altitude, our energy retention is like really good. We can sustain the fight even if they have an altitude advantage, if you know what you're doing, that is. So it's around about this point, we call the combat spread. So we've got Mustard off to the right, Pick is lagging behind, he rectifies that later on. But we're just about to reach 5k, and we're just going straight into the middle here. We have no option here, so I mentioned this before in some of my previous messages, and I think some folks might not understand what it means that you need to take the early engagement. In this case here, our whole team basically doesn't do anything. There's only one other dude on our team that's gonna get a kill out of the 16 dudes. So let me draw this up. Yeah, it's a full match. Only one other blueberry is gonna get a kill. And that is it. Everything's gonna come down to us. Games like these are normal. This is part of the game. The matchmaker doesn't give a damn about what the individual players are. It's all based on planes, the nations, the BRs. That's it. Oh, and of course, squadron tags. That's an important one. But yeah, I make the decision to commit right here. We go in with everybody that we've got right into the middle and figure out what we can pull off. We have to take the fight early as well because if we let the enemies keep climbing, then we'll give a couple of guys a really big altitude advantage. And if we have like four of them that are like 2 clicks above us, then yeah, it's more of a mismatch in their favor. So even though they have a slight altitude advantage here, a couple of them, the Spits, the Pure as well, and that 190 over there, it's not that significant. So we're gonna push the position here and then take the fight. So we've got the 190 coming in here. We break off into pairs. Get some hits there, but no joy. So the second pair maneuvers in to engage. We can afford to turn our backs to the main blob because you can see the difference in distances here. So going back to the fundamentals of squads is that you need to be within firing range of your wingman to be of any support. Even though that the entire enemy team climbed, right? In terms of like a tactical kind of evaluation, the enemy has like complete air superiority. There's no one here to challenge them but us, and we're still slightly below them. But they're not together. They're all spread out at least over a 10-click area. So no one can actually help each other here. So we have this 190 isolated and we can take the time to do that. Now this Pure turns in here trying to help his 190 friend, but we're all concentrated. So it's a 4-on-1, not much you can do there. Now I'm telling everybody, and it was, I didn't record the match so I can't show you the comms. But I was telling everybody throughout when we started this engagement up until about a minute after this point here in the fight that don't try not to lose your altitude. Try to keep your altitude and try to sustain that for as long as you can because there's still 6 bandits up here. They're still higher than us. If we take the fight down to the deck together, then like I said before, we give them too much of an advantage that will probably lead to our defeat and demise. So we've got a 4-on-2 mismatch here with the Pure and the 190. The Spitfire has joined the fight here. He was lower, but because we're slightly descending now, we've picked him up into that Furball. Now comes the other fellas, the 109 and the Spit. So at this point, the comms, there's basically no break, no silence in the comms. Everyone's calling out bandits and who's attacking who. I stayed up. I usually do this a lot. I'm like the last. If it's a big fight like this, I'm usually the last one in, just because flying top cover to protect people, that is like something that is very hard to achieve. Because not only do you have to make sure you don't die, because you're all alone up there now, as you can see me over here. Let me zoom in. Yep. Not only are you all alone, so basically it's all up to you to not die. All the responsibility on that's on you. But the whole point of top cover is to, look down above everyone and then call out any threats that are coming down to them. So that's what's devolving here. Now the rest of the enemy, they've finished mopping up the rest of the blues that were off to the sides, and now they're all coming down. So that's 3 more bandits about to drop in on us. So we're pushing the fight hard here. We can't afford to sustain anymore because we're about to be mobbed. So any chance that we get to take the fight now, we have to take it. And it works out because they're also, like I said at the very start, the enemy's all spread out. So we have opportunity there. So here comes the brand new 109 dropping in from above. Overshoots. We let the J26 go here because he's extending out, trying to run away. Here come the other bandits. They're all dropping in, all taking shots. Not much we can do there. Shots taken against the spit there. Now, there's a dude that's a little bit smarter. This F4 here, you can see once he sees that the fight's devolving and that there's like 4 yaks that are right next to each other in the mass furball, he doesn't do what his comrades are doing. He takes the slow route, goes up, climbs, and then resets the engagement. That's what the entire enemy team should have been doing, but they don't. Instead, they decide to just dogfight us all the way down. So now the kills start flowing through. So only tips I could give here is that if you're in a massive furball like this, keeping your comms up, that's important. But the mentality you want to have is that survive first. If there's someone behind you, defend yourself. And then when you shake somebody off, right, when there's no one left behind you, that's when you switch to the aggressive mode and then start searching for targets. And in furballs like these, it's very easy because people will just pop up right in front of you. Because there's too many planes to track. People don't really know where everybody is. Spit comes in here, tries to take shots. I think that's Pick down there. So I'm swinging on the far side here, going back in. Now we're right on the deck. We lose Pick there quite early. Mustard's about to go down. 109 F4, who was trying to play it safe, he screws up. Yep, you can see him coming from space there. So he was smart right up until this point here. I think he's just rushing it because he thinks that the game is over. Because we are pretty sure, yep, we're the last folks alive. So that's a stupid decision there. I think that's Mustard there. He picked up the G2 quite early, and then they all triple teamed him there. And right about here, we run out of ammo, which is a shame. But I managed to get 1 more kill out here, take my last shot at the G2, but I only had 2 rounds in the chamber, and then we're gone. And that is the end of the major furball. That is literally it. So if we take a look at the scores, I've got 4, Flank's got 2, and then Mustard and Pick's got 1 each. And this Yak 3P, the Blueberry, he's the only other guy with the kill. Now we end up winning the game. Actually, I'll see if I can show the ending of the match here. Okay, so we're refueled, we're rearmed. You can see that we're staggered like this. That's because the enemy has a significant ticket advantage, and there are multiple bandits that are hitting the ground. So I tell Flank, just go. You go first, climb, get some altitude, and I'll fall in behind you. And once we spot the bomber, there's 67 over there, because I'm at the lower altitude, I said, you stay up and you try to find the fighters. I'll deal with the 67. Now I make a poor attack on the 67 and I get hit, but I only take I take some structural damage and my fuel tank gets a hit, so it's leaking, but it's not a significant leak, so I'm able to sustain the fight. Now we don't have time, so usually I would have gone back to base with the damage that I had on my aircraft, but we don't have time. So Flank's now in a 2-on-1 against the G2 and the Spit. He had a slight altitude advantage. He's actually looking pretty good here. It's the third bandit that pops up there, the 190. Since the 190 is the lowest and he's going for bots, I'm going for him. So Flank doesn't need to worry himself about that. He just needs to deal with these two fighters that are up high trying to go for him. Due to the replay system, you're gonna see it be really janky like this. If the way I see is that how the replay system is that the further away things are, the less information it has about what's going on. So that's why it's like very erratic. So I shoot down the 190 there. I come back here. I'm not entirely sure what happened here. I think Flank lit the Spit on fire and he just burned. So yeah, that was good plays there. So now I'm coming over here. I'm telling Flank that I can't help him because I'm really low. He forces the 109 down. We go into head-on, take the shots, merge, and then that just sets him up for shots there. And yeah, it's toast at this point. The 109 decides to take the turn fight at low altitude against 2 yaks. I mean, what can we say? And that is the end. So we finished the game off with the squad having 12 kills combined out of 13 total. So 3 of the enemies either J'd out or crashed throughout the fight. But yeah, that's what I wanted to showcase there. 4 on 12, kind of, for the most part. Yeah.